and welcome to not just another episode, but a whole new season of John Works Too Much. Now, as you guys might have been paying attention, last year, a year and a half ago, I bought some land. I bought this half acre here, and I bought this 4.5, almost 5 acres right here, okay? And this sewer is 17 feet deep, which is ridiculous. And so we're gonna tap in at 8 feet, put a manhole over here, bring sewer tap over this way. We've already got water in, and then we're gonna run a sewer line all the way down and up the street over here. And then I got a couple more houses I'm gonna build over there. So we're hopefully gonna be setting forms next week and get the rough plumbing in there and hopefully be pouring concrete. We may frame before Christmas, I don't know, but I gotta go to Africa. So take a good look now because it looks ugly, but pretty soon it will be a lot of houses. So if you guys need a house, hopefully soon I'll have you a house. Love you guys, see you soon. So, I told you last week that we were cutting and putting in a sewer tap, which is a super easy process if you've got a wonderful contractor named Justin Spurl, because he can do amazing work. So we had a manhole over here, you can see it.
Got this manhole out here in the street.
And then we cut that, he cut that, his guys cut that. This right here, this is where the main water line comes in. So that's what, 6-inch line?
That's 6 inch.
That's a 6-inch line. Then underneath that, that's an 8-inch sewer line. And then we put in this manhole right here. And then we've got this 4-inch sewer tap that comes over here, and that will go towards the house that we're gonna build right there. So we'll have to do like a clean out over there, and we'll have to do another double clean out up closer to the house. But it will be truly amazing. So in case you guys don't know what stuff looks like underneath the world, that's what it looks like. There's pipes, and it's not really magic. It's just literally pipes that go to stuff. So Justin does a great job. If you need anything done, let him know. We are gonna later on, not today, put all new sewer all the way down and then up the street because I'm building houses all up there. I'm gonna do some up here too. So it's gonna be truly amazing. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you soon. Love you. We're working out in the rain. Noah's Ark hopefully will not happen because we've been promised with a rainbow. Steve Lux is probably one of the best plumbers I know in the entire universe. His dad was a plumber. He's been a plumber for however many years he's ancient. I think he's about 1,000 years old.
64.
He actually plumbed the Atlantic Ocean and part of the Indian Ocean. He knows literally everything about plumbing. So, Steve, what more are we doing here?
We're doing a rough in the rain. We've got a new lot. John's gonna put about 12 houses in here. We're gonna do the first house. Right now, we've got it all laid out. I paint it, get all the fittings going. Got my guys, they're gonna dig it out, and then we're gonna put in some rough in. Get all the nice, good fall. City gave us this tap. You probably saw John's videos because, you know, John works too much, way too much.
I do work too much.
But I'm the only other one that works as much as he does, so.
This guy, so I do some god-awful things, right? But when I look at Steve's tunneling and stuff, I'm like, oh man, I'm so glad I'm not you. Like, that looks just so hard. And I know I do hard stuff, but I look at him and I'm just like, ugh, you're a tough dude. Like, look at those muscles.
Oh yeah.
They're huge, look at that. So, it's been about 28 minutes, and Steve works.
35.
I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's been about 35 minutes. He works at lightning speed. Steve Lux is probably the best plumber in the universe, as we discussed earlier.
Super fast.
Super fast. So here's what we did. Steve got all this. Yep, that's the 4-inch line. So that's the drain line that comes from, remember we did the sewer tap last week. And then that comes over here, come on. And then from here, we've got what's called a double clean out, which means that you can unscrew this and run a snake down in case there's something clogged, or run it down this way and snake it the other direction. So hop on over. Then this is gonna come, this is called a trunk right along here. That's the trunk, the main trunk of the house. And then there's branches, right? So this comes to this bathroom where there will be a tub, a toilet, and a sink. And then this is a clean out because we have to be able to clean out from the end of the line. So here, what that means is you can unscrew this from the outside of the house, run a snake down there, and then clean out your lines, okay? And then over here, you can tell, it all has to go downhill because that's how science works. This trench over here, that's where the water meter is, see? And then we come across and there will be a valve box right here. And then we've got a shut-off valve, right? You can kind of see it, yep, right there. And then that comes in. This will be the front of the house, so there'll be a hose babe here. It's kind of sloppy right now, but this is where the washing machine is gonna be. And then water heater is gonna be here. And then we've got the sink for the kitchen over there. And that comes off the trunk as well. And then we come over here and there's a half bath right here. So that's a bathroom and a sink. And then we've got a sink, a big shower, a toilet, a bathtub, and then a drain. So, or it's a clean out, vent stack. So we gotta have, it's got a vent because otherwise your house will stink and smell like a sewer. Nobody likes that. And then we've got another clean out, another clean out, another clean out. So you have to have those. Now, Steve, you got some pretty intelligent stuff to say, right?
Yeah, if this was a TikTok, I would have went bam, and then all the plumbing went in. That's how it works.
Oh!
Snap, see what I did there?
Yes, we should
cool.
do that. Later on, we'll
cool.
edit it. Today, we got form set for concrete. And then, just in case you guys don't know this, we did the plumbing the other day, if you remember. And then we dig trenches, usually every 16 feet. So you can tell there's a 16 foot, another 16 foot. And then, you know, you go this way too. And we put an extra beam in here too. And so that is 24 inches deep and at least a foot wide. And then it tapers off from there. But then we'll be 3.5 inches thick, at least, thicker in some places. And then we put plastic over all that, and then we put a grid of rebar. So we're going to do that tomorrow. We got a temporary power pole up over here, so that means that we'll have those wires hook up to the wires up on the telephone pole, and then we'll got like a little breaker box there and a meter so they can charge us for electricity, and we can plug in and have power, so we don't have to have a generator out here, which is way better for us, so we don't have to hear which is pretty much it. So Jeremy wanted me to explain to you guys why we put these trenches in. A lot of people think it strengthens it and gives it more support wherever you have load-bearing walls, and that is incorrect. So Jeremy explained, and now I know, because there's stuff that I don't know. Like, I learn stuff too every day, that you take these trenches and you dig them underneath your house, and that way critters have like a roadmap to get around, right? Some highway. Them, yeah, like a underground highway, like underground railroad. I think that Harriet Tubman, or whatever her name is, comes down here too. But she's like, there's a possum version, there's like a snake version, all kinds of different animals that get down here. If you get them deep enough, if you have deep trenches for like the commercial projects, deer can go down in there, elephants, antelope, giraffes sometimes. And so that's what you have, is that way they can go underneath your house, have a nice, you don't want them to be out in the cold, right? If you're cold, they're cold, right? So let them go underneath the house. And a lot of times they don't really disturb you too much. So that's good. But anyway, that's, I know I say a lot of jokes, but I wanted you guys to get something that's actually informative, that will help you in your knowledge. And then if you ever talk to somebody that does construction or inspector or something, you'll know the purpose of this, and you'll be able to dig your trenches appropriately. Cool. Good morning. So yesterday we had just dirt on the concrete forms, but I told you they're gonna put plastic down, and so they are. And then they're gonna start putting rebar down. And as you can see, they're over here where the guys are working, they've got a jig set up so they can make baskets for in the trenches. And then this stuff over here on the ground, that's right there, that's called rebar. And rebar is short for reinforcing bar, because it reinforces your concrete, because without it, your concrete would crumble and that would be a mess. So obviously this stuff is costing me a lot of money, and I'm trying to think of ways to raise some money, and I'm hoping that you guys will help me out. So here's what we can do. I have acres of land for sale. So 1 acre of land for sale for $100 on the Sun. If you want to buy it, it's a lot warmer than it is here. Right now it's very cold here in Texas, and I don't know, whatever it is, like 69 degrees or whatever freezing is for us. But anyway, so then if you want to buy an acre of land on the Sun, just let me know, send cash. So then also I can send pictures and videos and stuff for money, and here's how it's gonna work. So if you want somebody that's like pretending to listen, just like a still picture, like, that's $20. But if you want like a video of me like, oh yeah, that's gonna be $50. Now, if you want me to have a video where I say your name and then pretend to listen for, I don't know, let's 5 minutes or whatever long time is for a guy to listen, that's $100. So that would be like this, oh yeah, and then insert name here. And if you want me to say, and you're right about that, well then that of course costs even more. So I think that probably within a couple weeks I'll have enough to pay for this house. So ladies, please send your money, and whoever's interested in buying land on the Sun, let me know. All right, let's go. All right, so it occurred to me that maybe one or two of you have never operated a bobcat before or driven a bobcat before, and so I just figured I'd show you how it works. So this is what it's like being in the cockpit here. You can see all the dirt in front of you. All this dirt right here, this was a hole all the way to China about 12 minutes ago, but I'm pretty efficient on a bobcat, so yeah. All right, so there are handles. There's this one, and there's this one, and then that's your throttle. So you want to turn your throttle up, which I'm not going to do right now. But this one right here basically just moves you forward and backwards. So you can see moving forward, and then we can see we're moving backwards. Want to turn left, then you get the point. If you want to turn right, so that's like your steering wheel, right? So then this one over here, let's see if we can see this. Where am I at? Yeah, so this one, if I pull back, then my bucket raises. If I push forward, then my bucket lowers. And then let's get it back up again. And then if I want it to tilt, which that's pretty important, then I tilt. And if I want it to tilt back up, then I tilt back up. And that's pretty much how it works. So a lot of people are like, man, I don't know if I can operate a bobcat. I'm like, can you operate a shovel? It's basically the same thing, but a lot more complicated. So anyway, now you pretty much know how to operate a bobcat. So then you want to turn the throttle up. It gets louder, so that's why I didn't do that. And we can go forward. See how fun this is? And maybe we get up to here. And then we want to lower the bucket. And we want to flatten it out some. And then we'll go backwards. We'll drag it. Normally I use two hands because that makes more sense. But I'm trying to show you how stuff is done. So there you go. Now you know how to operate a bobcat. You're pretty much certified. Hello. So we waited all day yesterday for an inspection, and then all day today for the same inspection, because that's how this painful process works. It's why I'm not a huge fan of the government. So things that move at the speed of government don't move at all. Like I said, I've been waiting 18 months for this, and then finally we get to this point, and they're like, oh, now we need another stupid form I've never heard of, so I got to deal with that. So I want to take this opportunity. We got the rebar in, so you can tell we talked about it being on an 18-inch grid, right? So that's what this is. So these are every 18 inches we've got rebar all the way down, and then every 18 inches this way, and they're tied together with these little wires or whatever, and then they sit up on these stilts that are 2-inch stilts, so that's good. And then down here we've got the trench, right? So this is where your beams are, is what they call these, and these are thicker steel that have stirrups wrapped in, and then there's 4 of those, and then they're in there and they're raised up off the ground too. So and the plastic is a vapor barrier that keeps moisture from getting through. So we've got a porch going in back here, a big porch on the front over here. That's the garage at the far side, and then this will be the footprint of the house. So it's a pretty house, and I can't wait to get some concrete poured and start framing. We're gonna have to wait a couple more days because of the city, but we'll do it. And then we did some dirt work over here. I showed you yesterday how I was working on the bobcat, and we did that, and then I actually worked some more on the bobcat later on. So I want to talk to you about something that it talks about in the Old Testament. God tells us to not glean the edges of our fields, okay? And I realize that we're not agricultural people, and so when I say that, you're like, John, I don't know the words that are coming out of your mouth right now. So let me explain it. Imagine that you've got a field, and let's say it's a big rectangle, okay? So what people naturally want to do is they want to get every last bit of what they're harvested. Like if it's fruit or if it's vegetable or grain or whatever in the world it is, they want to get like every last bit of that so they can maximize their profits and make a lot of money. But what God tells them to do as a people, and really tells us to do too, is to not glean the edges of your field. So don't get right up to the fence line, like leave a little, and don't get right into the corner, like leave a little, like cut your corners wide on purpose. And here's why: so that the poor can come back behind after your harvesters have come and glean, pick off what's left over, that food for themselves, and that they can have some food with dignity. And it's something that we don't talk about enough, is the fact that we on purpose, those of us that have more, and trust me, we all have more, make opportunities for people to accidentally, on purpose, leave a place for people to have an opportunity to eat with dignity, to have some dignity in their life, so that we on purpose give them opportunities that, yeah, we could make a little bit more, we could squeeze somebody a little bit harder, right? But why in the world do you want to squeeze a little man? Like, I think that's such a horrible habit that business people do, right? Like, I want to squeeze every last thing out of everybody that's my client and everybody that's my that works for me. And I'm like, why don't you be generous to your client and do above and beyond what you're asked to do? And why don't you be generous to the people that work for you, and give them the opportunity to make a living for their family, like with some dignity? And why not, if you have the opportunity to help somebody that needs help, because we all need help sometimes, why not glean the edges of your field? Like, leave a space for them to have something with some dignity, where they don't feel like they're your project, where you're not showing off to everybody, hey, look what I just did to help this person out, but literally you just like give them the opportunity so they feel like, hey, I discovered this, or this was an opportunity. Maybe make them feel like they're doing you a favor. Like, hey, we couldn't get all this. Can you pick this extra stuff along the edges or whatever? And obviously we're not agricultural people, so that's a bad analogy. But here's something that I like to do. If I notice that somebody is hurting and that they need help and they've got pride, they're not going to beg and they're not going to ask me for anything. I will take money out of my wallet when they're not looking and then reach down on the ground and pick it up and hand it to them and say, hey, I think you dropped this. And they'll be like, but I didn't. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure you did. And I'll just walk away, right? I don't give them any opportunity to give me that money back, but I don't make them feel like, hey, this is a project. I'm just like, oh yeah, you dropped this. And they know that they didn't drop it. And I know that they know that they didn't drop it. But it doesn't matter, because that gives me the opportunity to help somebody without them having to feel guilty or me having to explain or put conditions on or anything like that. People need to have dignity, and we need to help people every opportunity that we get. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. I'm very excited about this. I can't wait. Next Friday I go to Africa. I'm pretty excited about that too. I know a couple of people have asked about that. We're going to Tanzania, and we'll be gone for 16 days. So please don't rob me when I'm gone. I can give you my address if you want to rob me. So hey, I want to show you this one last thing. Please share this post, because I don't want it anymore. It's pretty much worthless. You can share that post over there too. In fact, all these posts, this whole fence line, you can have it. Just come and get it while I'm gone. Love you guys. All right, so we finally got the stupid piece of paper we need for the city, and now we're pouring concrete. So what we got to do is we got to get this big concrete pump truck, and then that, let's see, can you see it? Come on, John. Pumps all the way around over there, and then pours it into the forms. And then we got to move that around and smooth it out and stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then we got framing materials here, so we're gonna start framing this thing tomorrow. And we got trusses coming tonight, so we are gonna do a bunch of work today. So we're gonna be worn out working around the clock. All right, love you guys. Bye. So this is how it's done. That concrete truck pours into that pump, and that pump comes up here and pours into this. And he just moves it around. That's the operator over there. He operates all that like off the remote control, which is pretty cool. So that way you can see what the world's going on. And then this is some of the hardest work that there is. I'm not even kidding. Concrete and roofing is some of the hardest work out there. So I got a couple extra tickets if anybody wants one. They're both speeding tickets, but just let me know. I'll let you pay them. All right, so here's how concrete works. They pour it. Then these things, it's like a rake with no points, and they kind of rake that into place. And then here in a minute, once they kind of get it enough, then this board right here, that's called a screed board. It's actually made out of like aluminum or magnesium or something. And they take that and they see where the guy's pulling along with the 2x4 back over there. Let's see, right. Yeah, we stop. So yeah, this is called a screed board. And so they take that and they kind of drag it to where it's the right level, right? So they're going off the form board right there, and then they've got like a mark. They have stakes and stuff like that that tells them where to go. So that's called screeding it. And then once they do that, then I've got this thing, and it's called a bull float. Now if I twist it like this, then it tilts it away so when I can put it, it works, right? So if I twist it, then it pushes, and if I twist it the other way, then I can pull, and that smooths it out. So that's kind of how you do the concrete. That's the first step. And after that, there's a whole lot of other steps, but I figure you guys would think I was in. All right, so it's been about 28 minutes, and you can remember we were pouring over here, and we had a crane, and we did 70 yards on this one. So a yard, in case you guys don't know, of concrete or dirt or anything, is 3 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet. So you take 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, so it's 27 cubic feet. So we did that times 70. Anyway, then we bull floated it. I showed you that, and we screeded it and everything. And now we put them along the edges with these hand trowels, and finish off the edges. This is Ben O'Boone right here. He is probably knows more about concrete than all of you put together, and it doesn't matter how many of you there are, because he's been actually pouring concrete for 92 years. Tell him, Benno. How long you been pouring concrete? I told him 92
A
years.
long time.
92 years. That's accurate.
Now, free bad advice again. You can ask me literally anything, and I will give you bad advice about it. Doesn't matter if it's real or not. I'm going to do it. I'm super excited because we're finally getting to start framing. We got all our concrete done. You can tell they whirly birded this last night till it was very dark. It's probably like 9 o'clock when they finally left. But that's great. So we're going to start framing these walls. We have to do 2x6 exterior walls now. Because you have to get R20 on your exterior walls. That's important to know if you're building anything, because otherwise they will get you on that. And you're like, well, how do we get R20? Because you can't possibly do it. And then finally you have to get 2x6 walls. So that's that. We have to do pressure treated on the bottom plate, which means this green stuff. Let me show you. So see how this is green? It's pressure treated. So it's guaranteed for life against rot and decay, which is good, and then bugs won't eat it. So wherever you're touching concrete, then you have that. And then we're on 16-inch centers. These right here are gonna be a window. That's a 3x5 window. That's a 2x3 window. So this is gonna be, let me just kind of give you a quick overview. You walk in the door right here, right? So let me just show you. This will be the front door. You walk right in. Then this is all living room right here. This is gonna be a laundry room that you walk in through the garage. Then there's a master bedroom over there, a big master bathroom, a huge master closet. Then there's a half bath coming from this side. All this is open. This is all going to be living room, kitchen, dining room, and an office area. A big utility laundry room, and then 3 bedrooms with 3 walk-in closets and a good-sized bathroom. So, and obviously the garage. So 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath, big open plan. We got the trusses sitting over here. See the trusses? And then those are LVLs on top, which is a laminated veneer lumber, but it's a beam. So we're gonna put that over the garage door, and we're gonna put this over this back porch, because there's gonna be a back porch back here and a front porch over here, which is pretty exciting. So what else we want to talk about?
Same thing down there.
Bad advice. So I was sitting in traffic this morning. It's probably why I got run over. I probably shouldn't have been sitting in traffic. I probably should have been in a car. Anyway, so we're gonna start framing this stuff, and I'm super excited, and I can't wait to see you guys again. This is what it's like framing. Super safe. We had a COVID meeting. We're all good. Wahoo. Oh, hey there. We just been hanging around, right? We did literally nothing. I mean, yesterday morning, this was just a slab of concrete. Day before yesterday, no concrete. But we did, we did frame all the walls, and we decked them all. We did all these trusses. We still have some left to do, but the day's still young. But the sun's going down, and I realized you guys couldn't see, and I'm about to go to Africa. So I want to talk to you guys about this person decided that they wanted to will all their property to the devil when they died. True story. And so he willed it all to the devil. He said, I leave everything in my will to the devil, everything I own. And so the lawyers are all like, how do we give it to the devil? Right? How would you do that?
I don't know.
Exactly. They didn't know either. So they were just like, I guess we'll just leave it alone. I guess if the devil ever shows up, we'll give it to him, right? Well, years passed, and everything rusted and rotted, and was ruined and overgrown and just a mess. And somebody commented like, I guess they really did give it to the devil, right? Because doing nothing is also a bad thing, right? Doing something proactive is a good thing. It takes effort.
It literally talks about that in the Bible.
Yeah, with what God gave me, he did nothing. So anyway, we're gonna do this. We're gonna work some more. You guys probably won't see anything about it tonight. Maybe tomorrow we'll do another one. But after this, it's getting a little bit chilly, so I'm gonna go take a hot shower. And a hot shower, just for those of you that don't know, is like a regular shower, but I'm in it, so it's hot. Hello. So it's Christmas Eve, and 3 days ago, we poured concrete, and then 2 days ago, we framed up walls, and then yesterday we put up trusses, and then today we put up some decking. We did not get done because it's Christmas Eve, and everybody's like, I have a family, and I love my family, and I was like, I can respect that, even though nobody loves me. So that's sad, but we did get a lot done. I'm super excited. Tomorrow I do fly to Africa, first thing in the morning, so I'll be gone for a minute. So you won't see anything from me for a little bit, but when I come back, I'm gonna have amazing stories. So we're going there to help people out, and I'm sure that, as is usually the case, when you try to help somebody else out, you end up helping yourself out, because it's impossible to help your brother across the river and not get there yourself. So we are really looking forward to that. So today, because it's Christmas Eve, I want to talk to you about the fourth wise man. Now, this is not a real story. As far as I know, it didn't really happen, but it's still a good story, I think. But this story is about the fourth wise man. So the fourth wise man brings 3 jewels that are very expensive, and he wants to bring them to the King of Kings, because he's like, I know the stars, and I know this is a big deal. And we just had this Star of Bethlehem the other night, And this is a big deal. Like, this only happens, you know, once in 800 years or whatever in the world it is. And we want to come and see this king that was born that will be the King of Kings. And so he brought 3 very expensive jewels, because wise men still bring gifts to the Son of God, right? Even to this day. So I guess that's an important thing too, is like, what is it that you want to bring to Jesus? Because it is his birthday, not technically, but whatever. And we should really be thinking about what he wants. So he brings these 3 jewels, and he gets there late. And so he's looking all around Bethlehem, and he ends up staying with his family. And some time passes, and Herod's men are like, we need to kill every baby that's below 2 years old. And so they come, and they're killing all these babies, and you can hear the women screaming and the babies screaming, and they had a baby in their house. And so he didn't want to, but he took one of those jewels and he went and bribed the men so that they wouldn't kill the baby. And he was really sad because he didn't get to give that jewel to the King of Kings. So then some more time passes, and he's looking all around, and he finds this guy on the road that's been beat up, and all his stuff has been taken. He's been robbed and left for dead. And he wants to hurry up and get to where Jesus is, but instead he's like, I can't leave this guy here. And so he doesn't. He helps the guy, and he takes him to the next town, and he like makes sure he gets back to good, and then he pays his whole way, and he's like restores him, right? Once again, he's sad because it cost him one of his jewels, and now he only has one left. Well, he follows Jesus around and keeps missing him for 30 years. And finally, one day he hears Jesus is going to be crucified. He's in Jerusalem. Jesus is in Jerusalem. He's like, I can take this last jewel and I can save his life. And so he's like, I'm going to do that. And he's pressing through the crowd, and they're putting Jesus up on the cross, and he's trying to get through, but the crowd is too thick. And then Jesus dies. I'm sorry. He realizes that Jesus is dying and that he cannot get there in time. And right then, this little girl runs by, and she's screaming, and these soldiers are chasing her, and some guy couldn't pay his debt, and so the soldiers were going to take that girl into slavery to pay for his debt. And he couldn't stand by and let that happen. He knew he couldn't save Jesus, and so he took that last jewel and he bought her freedom. And right then, Jesus died. The sky grew dark, the veil was ripped from top to bottom, and there was a huge earthquake. And when there was this earthquake, this rock fell from up above him, and it hit him in the head, and he's laying on the ground, and the people around him could hear him saying, I'm so sorry that I didn't give those 3 jewels to you. I wanted to, and I tried my entire life to give you those 3 jewels, but everything kept happening, and I didn't get to you, and I'm so sorry. And they could tell that Jesus was saying back to him, you gave me every one of those, because when you help one of the least of these, that's when you help me. And I think that that's a beautiful story, because helping people is almost never convenient. Helping people is always at some inconvenient time. You're busy, you're doing other things, you've got some other goal in mind, and somebody comes along and goes, hey, will you help me? Those are the opportunities that you need to look for, that you can actually help people. And those are the things that really do make the difference in the world. So I probably won't post anything again as far as construction goes until next year. So I love you guys very much. Thank you for watching. It really does warm my heart. I talk to a lot of you guys, and you tell me that you enjoy these videos. So love you guys a lot. We're really excited about the house, and I'll show you more stuff soon. Okay.